Hello out there in Witherland. Before I started the original video that I want to show you this week, I just want to keep you up with, let me say, little curious, funny things about the polymega and worldwide distribution. So, this is, of course, maybe you're familiar with that, the first screen for the Ultra 64 module. You may be also familiar with when you're clicking on it, you coming to the offer itself, and I scroll down and here we are. Note, this is a pre-order for a product which has completed hardware development and is in mass production, ships in 12 to 18 weeks. Clearly written here. I tried to get it a little bit bigger. As I said, clearly written, in mass production, ships in 12 to 18 weeks. That was, or let me say that is, the same text it was a half year ago, and this 18 weeks are long past. In fact, it's double past. So for the later part, I'll do some, here let me say, pre-clicking, cause now I want to show you a very funny thing. Or I just showed that to you. It's the side from the university controller. They overworked it, they gone over it. It's looks better than the old one, but as you now can see, here's my currency. It's the Swiss franc. It's 34.91 cents. So it's around $35 or $40. So I didn't want that to happen, but yeah, you know, the prices, I mentioned it a little bit here and there, are really strange. But now we are on the side from worldwide distribution. They overdone the side a little bit, let me say, complete. Now has a fresh look. You can lease now things, whatever they want. What that means, come to that later. Video games, production, and here on the right, real estates. It's the German word for it. So before I get any further, so I mentioned that once or twice, they have a lot. It's a German company, and they have lots of misspellings. They had back in the day a totally wrong item description of the Simpsons arcade. I made fun about that, and they don't have it in offer. Yeah, come to that later. But as a German company, and I can guarantee you they speak in perfect German. It's of course the better German that my English is, but here is one big thing. I think it's hilarious. It's written ZAHLINGS. It's and this word is very easy to translate. It's and translated, and here shipping method, Versanddaten, but this word is totally misspelled. The correct word would be Zahlungs and shipping methods. In no grammatical form this word is written with a I. I would feel ashamed because this wrong writing is on since I can't remember, a half year or a year ago, and they don't even think to check out everything they have in or on their website, not even if they do a makeover. So now I'm clicking just for a little bit enjoyment on the chapter video games. So there's an advertise, and yes, they are, you can now pay with Amazon Pay, what's basically, yeah, I think it's yeah, I won't give them any money more or further, because yeah, I'm waiting since over 3 years of my stuff with clear callings that they are available in 2 months. It's not a problem, and yeah, etc. This one is the logo of a financial institute, so they pay for you, and you have to pay them, but you have to pay them in any case. If you don't get anything and you'll be a hold up like me, with the sentence, yeah, in 3 months, in 2 months, in 3 months, in 3 months, in 3 months. I heard it a lot. So, coming back to the chapters, Arcade 1-Up, there are now only have 10 types in offering. Practically Ridge Race is gone, Killer Instinct is gone, everything is gone except for such machines. I click on it to show you that, because it's also ridiculous. You can get this stuff all over Europe in many different shops. It's the Pac-Man, it's the Mortal Kombat, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the Yoga Flame edition, the Atari Legacy edition. You can buy those machines in various shops, and everything who is a little bit more spicier or appealing to customers is gone, because yeah, I mentioned it, no deliveries. So I hope you remember the price of the basic controller, cause this is absolutely ridiculous. Cause in my currency, or maybe also in euro or in dollars, $35, they are tripled the price of the standard polymega controller, 110 euros. So if you order one controller from worldwide distributions, you could get, in theory, free from the other company. Also ridiculous is the price of the base unit, 750 euros. Okay, yeah, $500. As I said once, consoles were every time expensive in Europe since the 1980s. Just for a little comparison, the Sega CD, when you are an American and listen that, was $300 in America, and here in Europe it was 500 Swiss francs. And now it's one really funny thing. I don't want to get into what the general stuff costs, because yeah, you can count it together, and there's a large price gap between. I mean, yeah, this is a company, they want to have also a piece of cake, but those prices are ridiculous. And in fact, in theory, I think it's a little bit like a spider web. Every string is connected in certain kind to one other. How I get to this conclusion? Yeah, let me say, Atari, as you maybe know, bought themselves into Polymega. Arcade 1-Up in the States releasing Atari 50 Arcade 1-Up Cabin, which is basically the Nintendo Switch game, or the PlayStation 4 or 5 game. I mean, yeah, the actual game collection that is out to buy. But yeah, as I mentioned, I think worldwide distribution is just, yeah, let me say, a post box, and the guys behind this company are, yeah, not that involved in Arcade 1-Up, but really good friends. And yeah, it's back to the main screen, the title screen, because I think this is very funny here, the part of leasing. If you're British, Scotsman, Irishman, or from England direct, you maybe heard of the movie Meaning of Life from Monty Python, and there's this one chapter, The Birth, where the shareholders, well, let me say, yeah, the doctors and the personnel of a hospital were very excited about that. The shareholders come, and the doctor advises his team to place the machine with the ping in the room, to show the shareholders that they invested their money right. So now, and here is what reminds me. In the movie, they explain to the shareholders that they are very clever. They bought this machine with the pin and sold it back to another company, and then rent it back, for the reason that they now, with this method, they don't use or have to use the budget of the year, as instead they're using now the monthly capital. And here is it clearly written: sale and lease back. But it is funny because you can click here, over here, on the top. Also funny is that I can change the language. I tried it now, and there are certain categories, they are now in English, like shop, welcome, real estate, but in fact what's written down there is not translated, so you have to see with your own eyes or just believe me. sale and lease back generates fresh capital through outsourcing your inventory or your your money practically. This word, yeah. A company is given with this possibility the chance of making use on their valued technical machines and infrastructure on the method to sell it to a leasing partner and lease it right back. That's an advantage for you as company, a great possibility to make in a fast way use and of your capital and generates higher liquidity. So yeah, it's practically what the machine with the ping does in Monty Python's, but Monty Python's is also a very cool sketch. No, it wasn't Monty Python's, it was 40 Towers when the Germans come. So I read it to you also in German. Of course, Sale and Leaseback generiert frisches Kapital durch Auslagerung des Anlagenvermögens. Unternehmen wird damit die Möglichkeit geboten, ihre gebrauchten, werthaltigen technischen Anlagen und Maschinen an den Leasingpartner zu veräußern und unmittelbar zurückzuleasen. Vorteilhaft ist, sie... Really? I don't read it in that before. It's grammatically wrong once again. Vorteilhaft ist für Sie insbesondere, da Unternehmen eine schnelle und vor allem höhere Liquidität generieren können. Yeah, okay. I mean, the machine with the ping was a joke, and this is also a joke. And here, from a good advantage for you, especially, is the fact that a company can generate very fast a higher liquidity or liquidity. So even here, when they try to convince you to give them, sell them your machinery to sell or lease it back for the ping, even then they can't even write proper German. And I mean, my English, you heard it, it's not the best, and I'm not every time very sure because I never had grammar, but as business people you should know what you're writing, and you should check it. This is absolutely horrible German, and those people are Germans and speak good Germans, and they can swear on German. I know that. I experienced that. this, yeah. Now, if I take now a clear look at this, I was really a fool to try to get something from them, and it's just funny, yeah. I mean, I'm working. I'm a regular worker of in a warehouse, and we ship items. We get items and send it to the destination, or one further step to the destination. And we had once from Worldwide Distribution a pinball machine in our warehouse. It was maybe coming out of reparation or something like that, but it was horrible packed. It was really and I mean, I gave them 3 years or 3.5 years back then my money. I didn't realize that it is bad and get even better and worse. It's okay. So for this part of the show, I say bye to you, and hope you stay tuned. Because I'm now pretty, I'm now, yes, I'm shocked how they can survive, and because I know I'm a fool, but many people are not that stupid that I am or was, or are clever enough to don't shop here and give them the money. It's I'm a little bit speechless, and I'm glad that I recorded the footage that you will see in a few seconds. Are recorded yesterday. So, as I said, thank you for your time and stay tuned. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. Hello out there in Videoland, it's me again, Lazy Video Gamer. Thanks for watching and welcome to my show. In this episode, I just wanna talk a little bit about arcade one-ups and also maybe the issue they have. So let's start it. This is my first cap that got my attention, my decision to buy such a cap. It is the Kill Instinct cap. As you know, and a viewer of my channel, I love Kill Instinct a lot. So I decided to pre-order that, and yeah, that story of that machine goes on. This one I bought later, a year ago from today, directly through a third party seller who had an offer on eBay. But if I be honest, I show you my real first cap. Formerly I thought those machines are too big for my hobby room. Ironically, now I got 5 caps in it and kicked almost every other thing out, like my DVD collection. It's now stored in a dry place. This machine, my customized WrestleFest arcade one-up. I saw the offer on eBay from a French seller who offers a complete, already plug-and-play modded arcade one-up, equipped with Sanwa buttons and Sanwa joystick. It's very cool, and I thought back then on the recent KI machine that I pre-ordered took his time, And still, it would look great if I had another machine besides. So I bought myself a second already modded machine and branded in the Killer Instinct style. Then I found an offer of a Mortal Kombat cabin already used on a second-hand platform of my country, and I heard about the Intergaming fighting stick and I tried to get one. Finally I got one, so I bought this machine and to mod and customize it with the fighting stick and of course a cool decor. Back in the day I tried it out and I did a mistake. I already talked about that, how to hook up a Super Console X or an arcade box to this machine, because in fact this Intergaming fighting stick is, let me say, just a Bluetooth controller, so it works with many systems. As I said, not perfect for any game who is on such a system, but for the most. In the case of the Nintendo Switch, yes, and I'll mention that surely again, it has only joysticks, no analog controls, so some kind of games don't run on this system. As I said, a year ago I saw this offer on eBay and I couldn't resist. It was the price. In fact, what you're paying or supposed to pay nowadays for a KI machine. In fact, the KI machine, the Outrun machine, the Retrace machine, many machines are not in the offer of this distributor, the worldwide distribution, GmbH, anymore, because they can't deliver anything. But that's, of course, a complete other topic. Yeah, I got this machine, I put in some Samba buttons, some Samba joysticks, bought me, yes, I said it, an expensive Mocky, but it looks very nice. It was me worth the price and looks fantastic. Originally I should go to the other room, the other playroom of my daughter, cause the story of this machine is, let me say, funny. I had a Mortal Kombat board spare. On the reason I took the board from the MK machine away and made a Mario Kart A1 up out of it with the Switch fighting stick. But I wasn't happy about that, that I can't play any game, so I bought myself an Asteroids cap and only to try to mod it by myself. And it was and is still a great adventure and fun. It's funny because actually on this machine I did the last mod with the side buttons not so long ago. But yeah, let me see, I think now it's I'm pretty done, And that's the reason why I called this big fellow here my monster. It's fully modded. I can play everything who is playable on such a machine on it. Also in a way of, let me say, yeah, I was a little bit bored. I had nothing to do else except for working and take care of my family, but I'm working in different time shifts, so when I get up, my daughter is out of the house, my wife is maybe out of the house, so I have nothing to do with my time. And I thought, as a Sega man, a Sega fan, I would like to have a Sega branded cab. I had then in mind to do one side especially for the Sega Saturn and one side for the PlayStation 3. And yeah, let me say the most games on the PlayStation 3, because I only build in one analog stick and not two. So in theory I can not play every game on this cab, but for those games, for those Sega games I wanna play, it works perfect. So yeah, that is my home arcade. But if we take a look at the problem that Arcade One app has, yeah, let me say there are maybe two big ones. Arcade One Up started as a toy for rich children, but it didn't sell. Instead, adults bought those machines and they have higher expectations. They wanted better buttons. Yeah, that changed a little bit over the time, that the buttons are really a little bit better, but not in the way like a Sunva button. It's an absolute difference between the original Arcade One Up buttons and Sunva buttons. Also, we wanted light up marquees. Arcade One Up did this, but has then to raise the price. But the marquees are in many times, or in almost every time, washed out. They have washed out colors. In the case of Killer Instinct, it's not black anymore. It's when you light up the marquee, it's almost gray color that it has, and that moves on to every other marquee as well. So they raised the prices, and from, let me say, 300 or 400 bucks to nowadays 800 bucks. It is a big step in the price range. So yeah. The second issue is, in my opinion, they releasing machine after machine, year after year, almost the same machines. The newest one, a Street Fighter 2 cab, it's once again Street Fighter 2. We had the original, we had the Big Blue, we had the Yoga Flame edition, and now it's the 4th edition, and we have got the Capcom Legacy cabin, so it's almost 5 times practically the same. For the newer ones, or let me say for all except the first edition, with 3 games on it, they have 12 games or 20 games. But yeah, that's that is not a big point if you have a lot of space. But for me, I'm a Sega fan. There are no, except for Golden Axe. Golden Axe is a Sega brand. There are no Sega arcade one-ups out like Virtua Racing, Virtua Fighter, Daytona USA. So there's nothing out in the market that would trigger me to buy a new cab. Instead, I did what many people did. Buying the cheapest cab and invest once again some money and mod it. Put on your own games, mod it with a Pandora box or a Raspberry Pi or an arcade box or a Super Console X, or if you want to do it absolutely 100% legal, to mod it that you can hook up your own console. And for that, the price of the modding is in the same price range than a new cheap cab. So yeah, I think if Arcade 1-Up doesn't get big licenses, they do what they do every year. They're releasing the same cabs year after year, and I hope they survive. Nowadays, I think not that Arcade 1-Up is going out of the business, but there are rumors that they are being sold or sold the company or have the wish to sell the company. But that doesn't change the main issue that they're releasing every year the same games. And yeah, I mean, no single cab of myself is in original condition or is near original condition, except for the KI. I only changed buttons and the marquee, but every cab that I have is a self-modded one, self-customized with decors or made playable for a certain console. Yeah, and as I said, I think that's an issue or a little problem. A while ago I heard the rumors that they could do an official WrestleFest one-up. But who wants to buy that? Because there would be on WrestleFest and of course WWF Superstars, the prequel to WrestleFest, maybe a third game or a fourth game, but that's it. I got on my machine many games more. And the fans of this game of WrestleFest, they already modded their consoles. And they wouldn't have the need to buy an official cab. So yeah. And that was it for this week's episode of the Lazy Video Gamer Show. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you join me next week once again, and wish you till then a fantastic Sunday, a fantastic week, fantastic games to enjoy, and don't forget, the game is never over. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro.